Hello. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Mahalo nui for joining us here at the 2025 November 1st Appreciation Prayer. For those of you joining us on Facebook, thank you. I don't know, unfortunately, I completely forgot to include the shikishidai or the service order for today's service. So I ask if it's possible for you to please maybe go to a first prayer service, or just follow along. Most we do most of the prayers are in the prayer book, but we do have some that are not. And so I sincerely apologize to all of you for that. Um, Today is the first of the month, and again, on the first of the month, we always give thanks to Kami-sama, and it's also our opportunity to reflect on things that have happened in our lives. Um, and so, please, there's a part of the service today, the prayer service, that what we call Shinjukin or silent prayer. Please use that as a means of which to reflect on your life, to give appreciation, apology, um, or request if you feel you need to give a request. But please use this as an opportunity for all of that. So, without any further ado, let's begin today's prayer service. よろしくお願いいたします。一度入れ four sincere claps。ありがとうございます。金光様、どうぞ私と心と体の方に入りください。神心の働き方してください。心と体の方に与えてください。どうぞよろしく。教祖金光大臣様ご祭をはじめに来金光様ご祭三大金光様ご祭四大金光様ご祭五大金光様ご祭六大金光様ご家族。日々の御取り次ぎご記念の働きご用厚く御礼申し上げたてますります。これからお11月の1日、御礼ご記念に始まります。どうぞよろしくお願い申し上げたてまつります。Prayer of Sincere 取り次ぎ。I'm a Konko-kyo believer. I believe in Ikiyami Konko Daijin, Tenchi Kano no Kami. I've come today to practice my faith, appreciate and acknowledge the blessings, favors, and interventions of Tenchi Kano no Kami, honor the ancestors, and learn more about the faith of Konko Daijin. As I learn more about the heart of Tenchi Kano no Kami, I nurture the faith of my spiritual family. Thus, I boldly confess that my mind is alert, my heart is receptive, and I will never be the same as long as I practice the faith and receive Toritsugi. Kigami Konko Daijin sama, Tenchi Kano Kami sama, thank you. Kansha itashimashita. Haide, four sincere claps. Arigatou. ありがとうございます。一度入れ four sincere claps. 天津のりと高間の原にかむずまります。かむろぎかむろみのみこともちてすめみおや。かむいざなぎのみことつくしのひゅうがんの立ち花のおどんのわわぎはらにみそぎ。あらいたまふときにあれませるはらいどんの狼たちもろもろのまがごと積みけがれよ。あらいたまい清めたまえと申すことの。よしおは松神国津神やおよろずの神たち。共に雨の淵駒の耳振り立ててきこしめせと。かしこみかしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 2 for the mediation prayer. Let us seek the sacred mediation of Ikigami Konko Daijin sincerely and wholeheartedly each and every day. May we receive the mediation anew with all our hearts and souls on this very day, on this very day, this very moment. Kigami Konko Daijin sama, Kigami Konko Daijin sama, Kigami Konko Daijin sama, Kigami Konko Daijin sama. Silent prayer, Shinchu Kinen. 天幕昔国闇金光大臣本取り違う義天地金の大家神様金光のご霊人様の前にご挨拶申し上げた天末安。今日も天地の命ありがとうございます。今日も健康ありがとうございます。今日も神守りありがとうございます。今日もお礼の財ありがとうございます。今日も両親ありがとうございます。今日も夜行法ありがとうございます。今日も巡りの取り配ありがとうございます。今日も転職ありがとうございます。今日も御用ありがとうございます。今日もポジティブありがとうございます。ご先祖様からのご無礼がありましょうともないと許しくださいませ。日々の信心に出しますから、信心のとこもってどのような巡りを取り張りくださいませ。今日も今週もサンデーゴ、ティファナ、リバーサイド、サンバーナディーノ、メキシコ、日本、コロラド、ハワイ、テキサス、アリゾナ、オクラホマ、ノウジコ、ロサンゼルス、ノウジコ、シントーラ、南々に、喜びと充実に満ちた一日をお与えくださいますようにお願い申し上げたてます。安全にありがたくお過ごしいただきますようにお願い申し上げたてまつります。今日も今週私のファミリーをはじめ、金光教北サンディエゴカウンティ集会、教派神道金光教サンディエゴ教会、金光教チラビスタ校舎、金光教ビッタルーズリ教会、メキシコの広間へそれぞれの関係者、内蔵に最高最大最善の大御神をお与えくださいますようにお願い申し上げててますです。大難は湘南に湘南、無難に無難には使いのみかをお与えくださいますようにお願い申し上げたてますです。大病は小病、小病は難病には使いのみをお与えくださいますようにお願い申し上げたてますです。大きい借金は小借金、小借金は脳借金にお待ちかいのおみくじを与えくださいますようにお願い申し上げています。健康在新人アバンデス人間関係のおみくじを与えくださいますようにお願い申し上げています。健康のそれぞれお礼をお願い、心配、心を受けくださいますよ。それぞれのお願いが叶いますよ。どうぞよろしくお願い申し上げたてまつります。Prayer for grace. 神様、give me grace for this day, not for a lifetime, nor next year, next month, next week, or tomorrow. Yes, give me grace just for this day. Direct my work and bless it. Advise me in the things I sin, give them blessings too. Direct and bless everything that I think, do, and speak, so that for this one day I have the gift of grace that comes from your presence. Kami-sama, just this one day, let me live generously and kindly, in a state of grace and goodness that makes me a little bit like you. Please open your prayer books to page 17 for prayer for peace. Through our divine mediator, to the divine parent of the universe, let us pray. As precious as our own lives are, so are the lives of all. You embrace us with your blessings, wanting us to help one another and live together in harmony. Yet, when your wishes are ignored and selfish desires pursued, tears spread across the world. Your heart pains as people suffer, hurt by injustice, poverty, and war. Please accept our apologies as we strive to exchange our ways, to reflect your love in all that we do. The peace of the world starts with peace in our hearts. Please grant us the courage and wisdom to see the goodness in all, to speak words of comfort and hope. Allow our actions to form a peaceful world where each is respected and fulfilled. Through your virtue and guidance, we pray with hearts as one for all to live in peace and harmony, for all to live as one. Please open your prayer books to page 29 for the Shintoku Sanji. 仰ぎ祭れば天高く、仰ぎ祭れば天高く、拝み祭れば地は厚し、神の恵みに生かさるる身の幸い。そうありがたき我が生き神の温度に次ひとひもかくる時のなく天。地の神の恩守り、遠き近きの隔てなし感。慈しみはよろずよにあまねく満ちて果てしなく感。計らいはくすしくて人の思いぞを呼ばざる我ら今月今一夜日祭りてひたすらに神の御影をたたえ祭らん。神の比例をはおぎ祭らん。一度拝礼 for sincere claps. Chido Haide for sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, as retold from generation to generation, honored as a foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Silent prayer, Shinchu Kinen. Appreciation prayer to the founding minister of the Konko Church of Tamamizu. 湯川うまし満ちてるみ柱うし廃止。はれはおぐもしたわしきゆかわのうしはや。われはおぐもしたわしきゆかわのうしはや。われしのぶも懐かしきうましみちてるみしらうしはや。若の浦和の清き深きみ心持ちて神よい甘い道を尊び、何は家の広きと君思い持ちて、今日は我み人を救いて、道の見光をまかがし、教えの恵みを国かがし、人の世のもとつ道を極め尽くし、神と人と一つなることわりを、まさやかに教えまつぶさに示したまいし、大き高きみいさをとみ祭りいやび祭らくを、めぐしときこし橋とみそなわして、道の行く手をは松日のやとに守り、教えの子らが行く末を、照る月のいやひろに恵みたまえとかしこみも申す。Please open your prayer books to page 36 for Sosen Sanji. よいよのおいやは、我が家の神、我が神と心尽くして、いつきまつらな心尽くして、いつきまつらなとときみおやの神たちよ、海の子のために、家の柱を沈め立てたまい、初子のために世のなりわいよ。守り助けたまいかふりよのみえん。境にましませどもみいつくしみのみ心は映しよに変わらせたまわず。咲みたまのまさきくさきはえたまい。くしみたまのくしびに恵みたまいて。志は薪の柱の動きなくなりはゆは結ぶつなめのゆるみなく真心清らに励み努めしめたまい。うからやからや笑いあいて日にけにうらやすく楽しましめたまい。ついに移しよのことを得て神の御角に参らん時には必ずしも迎え取り、たまいみいつくしみをこほむらしめたまわんものと神の実りの大変なるをかしこみかたじけなみみおやの恵みおぼろげならぬを嬉しみ喜び申すことを御心も涼やかに聞こしめしたまえと申す。花くしびのみ親の御霊。花くしびのみ親の御霊。花ととのみ親の神。花ととのみ親の神。Please open your prayer books to page 19 for the newly departed soul prayer. Spirit of the newly departed, we love you now and forever. Fond memories of you fill our hearts. We shall miss your physical presence. Yet you will remain in our hearts forever. We pray for your eternal happiness. We sincerely pray with heart and soul. As a beloved child of Kami, you were given the gift of life, sought to live it fully each and every day. As you leave your physical form, please listen to our prayers. Whether in your physical or spiritual form, the universe is your eternal home. You always be blessed with a peaceful heart. Know that you're always embraced by Kami's love. 一度拝礼 for sincere claps. ありがとうございます。感謝いたします。ありがとうございます。一度拝礼 for sincere claps. 感謝いたします。Please open your prayer books to page 6 for the recitation of the Tenchi Kakitsuke. ひがみ金光大臣天地金の神一心に願え。ひがみ金光大臣天地金の神一心に願え。おかげは我が心にあり。おかげは我が心にあり。今月今日で頼め。今月今日で頼め。Pray sincerely with all your heart. Be one with Kami. Kami's blessings begin within. Hearts grateful and caring, harmony and joy. Look to Kami always, now and forever, on this very day. Pray. Oración de Tenchi Kakitsuke. A través de Ikiami Konko Daijin, Ore a Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. A través de Ikiami Konko Daijin, Ore a Tenchi Kane no Kami, con todo el corazón. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. La gracia divina depende del corazón de cada uno. Ore ahora en este momento. Ore ahora en este momento. 感謝いたします。一度拝礼 for sincere claps. 感謝いたします。Aloha, everybody. Mahalo nui for joining us on the November 1st Appreciation Prayer Service. Um, what a recent person, very, very recent person, had sent an email to me and asked me, "Oh, you have a number of services that go on in a month." Not quite, especially when months I go back to Hawaii, um, but why do you have one always on the first? So, as most of you might know, I think it's April, July, and October are the only months that I do not do a service here. Or if I do a service, it may not be here. I might be on the road, or I might not. But for the most part, those are the 3 months that I don't do the service on the first because I'm in Hawaii at that time. But what I do when I am in Hawaii is I tell my dad, let's go to church on this day. I'm going to take you to church. We're going to go to church. It's the first of the month, and I make sure we go in the morning because my dad tends to go to sleep early. But so I wanted, and although I've explained this a number of times, I think it's worth, I guess maybe once a year, twice a year, to explain why the first of the month is so important. Now, I really, in all honesty, I cannot speak for things here in North America or here on the North American continent. I really don't know. Um, I would assume Seattle was so because of where Hideshima Sensei had come from. But as for everyone else, I cannot speak for them. So I will speak about my experience in Hawaii and when I lived in Japan as well. In Hawaii, the first of the month was such a big thing. I remember my dad taking me to church when I was a kid. And I'm like, why do we have to go to church? I don't know why I have to go to church on the first of the month. But we would always go to Honolulu church. It was the service would begin. I cannot remember. I think it was like 7 or 7:30 at night. But we were there for the service. Um, I also wrote this in my dissertation. Um, that I was like so bored and I'm like, oh God, what are these people with Smurf hats wearing, and why are they up there? And I thought to myself, anyone can make those offerings. They're so easy to do. Anyone can do that. It's such a stupid job. I was a kid back then. And I thought about it. I was so bored. I was just bored out of my mind. Um, However, the ending of the service was my favorite part. Not because we were going home, um, but because the late Reverend Kikue Kodama, um, she got out of this, like, I always thought of it as kind of like this mystical, like outfit, like almost Jesus, like, I don't know, not Jesus, but like this mystical goddess like outfit that the women wore. I wasn't very impressed with the what men wear, because the stuff that men wear in Hawaii, I think was so it's like laziness. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. And the women always had to wear the proper formal ceremonial outfit. And I thought, well, why do the men get to wear such lazy outfits and the women have? So I always, for some reason, I always just thought that was very goddess-like. So when Kikwe Sensei walked down from the altar, she changed and she became grandma, like almost like this grandma. She was wearing this old dress, and it was like something you would see from the 60s. Like it was this is the 70s and 80s, and she's dressing like she's from the 60s. Um, but she came in, she was this kind lady, and I saw her, and she would walk back up to the altar, and she would grab something from the altar, and I was like, "That's for me. That's for me." And she would always come down and she would walk our way. And my dad always, I don't know why he always sat in the back, but he always sat in the back. And Sensei would ignore everyone, and she headed straight for my dad. And then she would always pat my hand, good boy, this ne, good boy, this ne. And then I always got some, it was a candy or whatever it was, but it's from the directly from the altar. I didn't make it made no sense to me at that time. But I can tell you that particular service was always, it was a service, not a prayer service. It was an actual ceremony that Honolulu Church used to do. And it was very well attended. For something that was well attended at 7:30 at night, yeah, the parking lot was practically full. People had to park on the street. It wasn't even no godaisai. It wasn't even a grand ceremony. But people who could not make it at night, I did Goyo there one day, and it happened to be the first of the month. And Koichi Sensei had asked me to please be there from the morning until the afternoon when he would be back. And I'm telling you, I could not sit down and rest. Like I wanted to clean, I couldn't clean because person after person, these people just kept people I've never ever met. People I've never met kept coming into the Hiromai. I thought, wow, you know, I know in Japan the first is taken seriously, but I didn't realize how seriously people in Hawaii took it. There were people who came from Kaneohe, which was over the mountain, from Waianae to Nanakuli or Eva Beach, Wahiawa. Um, there was a person from Mililani, Pearl Sea. I'm like, where did these people come from? I don't even see them during monthly ceremonies, but these people came on the first of the month. And with I'm not mentioning names, so I think it's safe to share that many of them would say, "Thank you for praying for me, Sensei. Thank you, and please continue to pray for me." We thank Sensei. We've received okage. It was always a thank you, and then please continue to pray for my family. But it was always the first thing was thank you. And these people came from all different places. Some of them are old. Some of them were mid. I wasn't. I, I wasn't in my 40s and 50s. I'm still in my 36. But there are people in their, I would assume like their late 40s, 50s, who would come to church during that time. Um, Even when I did goyo at, I was asked to watch the church at the Hilo church for about, I think it was a 2 week stint. Um, I was impressed that on the first of the month, people, oh my gosh, this mother, this lady and her mother came all the way from Konna, all drove all the way from Konna all the way to Hilo. If you know, you cannot at that time you couldn't go through the island. You had to go around the island, and the only way you could go around it was north, south. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." People came, there was a man, Mr. Doi, who came from, Camuela. Camuela is about 30, 40 miles away. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's about 30 miles north of Hilo. Why? Why would you come? Like, I was like, for myself, I understood it, but I didn't think that these people took it that seriously or really embraced the idea of the first of the month. So I was truly just shocked at how many people embrace that. But why the first of the month? Why is probably the big question. And you have to think about it that for 12 years, I mean, 11 of the 12 months of the year, excluding New Year's Day, we get this opportunity to think of this miniature New Year's Day where we get to restart things. And in this process of restarting our lives once a month, we get to reflect on our actions. We get to reflect on our family. We get to reflect on our jobs. We get to reflect on our faith. We get to reflect on our relationships. We get to reflect on our ancestors. The first of the month gives us that opportunity because I number one, hi, my name is Todd Takahashi, and I'm a human being. And I will tell you straight up that even myself, as a full time teacher, a part time minister, although I'm a full time minister, but part time, I do my part time. There are times that I don't have that ability to reflect. For those of you who joined us for the Kosha, the Chila Vista Kosha's monthly ceremony this past Wednesday, I shared with you about my best friend, Stacy. And yesterday was her main meeting, the day she passed away, of all day Halloween. And I did something that I never thought I would do, and I decided I'm gonna celebrate her life by splurging on a meal. Because one of the things about Stacy that I remember so much about her, and it always stays with me and it pains me, is that from just right after the time I met her, she had, because of her height and her weight, and she always used to tell me, Todd, you have to take care of yourself. She didn't purposely do it, but she just loved to eat, and she thought she was like, I thought I was Superman. She thought she was Superwoman. She could beat any illness, any disease, until her body said, no, 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 I can't. And her body fought back to the point that she was on such a regimented um, diet, because if she didn't, she could die. She was on such a, and it pained me because she would have to sacrifice. So she would have cheat days. She was allowed cheat days, but she would have to sacrifice cheat days just to have a meal with me when I visited her. When I moved back to Hawaii and visited her, she would have to sacrifice those days just for me. Um, I mean, that's a friend. So for the past 2 days, yesterday and today, I've been in a little melancholy mood just because yesterday was her 4th year memorial. But you know what? I'm so glad that I have this opportunity to remember her, because I'm remembering the things that she told me and she begged me to do, is to live life, continue to do my best, to step out of my comfort zone, to stop wearing extra large. Stop wearing extra large shirts. I'm sorry. I love comfort over the way things look on me. Okay. um, to get out of my comfort zone and stop wearing blue. It got me to remember the things that were so important to her, which was health, which was um, diet, which was exercise. These things were important to her. And this is why this first of the month gives us that opportunity. The end of the month is when I pay all my bills, and in the process of paying all my bills and throwing my paycheck into savings and figuring out how do we do everything. I think about today when I went shopping for tomorrow's Get Today. So tomorrow's our monthly ceremony here, for the Whittier Rose, for the San Diego Whittier Rose Hills, Chile, and Mexico Hiromays. It is our monthly ceremony. As I went shopping, I said, Todd, I forgot about that passion I had. Todd, let's do something different. We've got to do something different because I hate being so blasé. It irritates the crap out of me, to be honest. To be given this opportunity to reflect on my faith and my relationship, that's what the first of the month does. Twice out of the year, I ask you, I implore all of you to please reflect on the past 6 months, to think about as much as you can, because that is what that mid-year purification and appreciation ceremony is about. It gives us an opportunity to really reflect and to think and dig deep. These monthly opportunities to reflect, although they can be short, it gives us that opportunity to say, hey, I didn't realize that. Hey, it gives us an opportunity. This is when you should be going to church on the first of the month, or emailing or texting or calling your minister on the first of the month and say, thank you very much. Thank you for all the blessings I've received. Thank you. I apologize because this is what happened. You know, and even if it's not an apology, you express your heart. You can say, Sensei, I don't, sometimes I don't know what to pray for. Sensei, I'm stuck in my life. That's being honest. That's being reflectful. That is why the first of the month becomes so important. And I believe that's why so many people on the first of the month. Now, I have to admit, when I lived in Japan, um, I want to say people west of Tokyo, I've never people west of Tokyo. I saw that the first of the month was somewhat important. Even in Osaka, even in Konkotan, even in Kyushu, I saw it was very important. The first of the month at headquarters, you would see so many people come to worship. And I'm not sure why in Tokyo that wasn't the case. I mean, on the first of the month, I always went to Shiba Church every month. On the first of the month, I went to Shiba Church for appreciation. So I cannot, and that's just my experience. There's some places that take this very to heart, take it as an opportunity to delve into our faith, to reflect, and to as an opportunity to better ourselves and our lives. And yet there are areas that maybe choose other things that are more important. I'm not no criticism. It's not a criticism. It's just an observation. Just an observation. And here in North America, if I'm correct, I think it's the Gardena Church. I know Whittier when Whittier was still there, um, and San Diego. Now that I'm here, our three churches are probably the only ones that really have anything or do anything on the first of the month. And again, this is not. I'm not. I'm not shading. I'm not trying to shade, but I'm just sharing my observation. It's just an observation. Um, but for me, it's very important. And so even though sometimes I'm rushing to get back to the apartment to prepare for it, in the car, I'm reminded, Todd, what was it like? It gives me this opportunity in the card to begin that reflection process. As I read my silent prayers in here, I'm reminded about so many things. I can tell you after every service, I'm just happy. I feel like my heart has been refilled, my spirit has been refilled. I will say though, I did send to my parent minister, Reverend Masao Yukawa, that I do miss the opportunity to go to church every single day. I do miss being able to receive Toritsugi every single day. And so when I am allowed to receive Toritsugi, its value, oh, its value is so amazing. It means so much personally. So with that, I'm going to end today's um, November 1st prayer, November 1st appreciation prayer service. But thank you all for joining us tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. And remember, tomorrow, I don't know what time it happens, but we lose an hour. So please make sure you get enough sleep today. But we lose an hour tomorrow at 11 a.m. will be the San Diego Church, Willie Rose's Church in the Mexico Hiromais. Um, November Tenchi Kano Kami monthly ceremony, as well as the November monthly memorial service for that. And please note also that I do have my thing here. Um, on December 14th will be the Kaigai Fukyoko Rosha Hotokusai. This is the appreciation and recognition ceremony for those ministers and believers, not just ministers and believers who were of meritorious service to the faith outside of Japan. It's a little bit of a long ceremony. I am thrilled to announce who our guest speakers are going to be from the Kongo Church of Imabari. Um, is Reverend, oh my gosh, please forgive me. He's the assistant head minister, and I cannot recall his name to save my life. But Reverend Tsukamoto, sorry, Reverend Tsukamoto will be the Japanese guest speaker. Reverend Tsukamoto was also the head of our Korea Center at one point as well. So I'm so excited about his sermon. And also a dear friend of mine who is becoming more aware of just amazing amount of sacrifices that believers and ministers gave of themselves so that she could be where she is today. And that is the Reverend Edna Kazuko Matsuoka, Associate Minister at the Kongo Mission of Wahiawa. So I'm very, very excited. I hope you'll be with us on December 14th for the Kaigai Fukyoko Rosha Hotokusai. But until then, please take care. Please stay safe. Get some rest because you're losing an hour tomorrow. But take care. Ahui ho ma lama pono.